and they ended up going down together.
Well, I believe we are in the Strauss cabin. We are in the Strauss cabin, yes. Oh, say it's not the clock. Say it is not the clock on the mantle. Oh my God, this is outrageous. Oh yeah, look.
The glass crown on the clock face is still intact.
Yeah, it's just...
If you could just clean it, we could see what time it is.
Yeah.
This sort of smoking gun evidence is almost never found in archaeology. One single object that could tell us the exact time when the flooding of this room occurred.
Oh, I wish you'd get closer.
Of course, the clock was bolted to the mantle, so it's not just sitting there by gravity.
Up.
I can see a Roman numeral.
You can see something in there.
I can see a Roman numeral in there.
Yep, 11, and X is Roman numerals.
Oh God.
That's 12 at the top. You can see a number, a large.
Yeah.
There's the
okay,
one.
there's a minute hand right there. It's about 5 minutes.
You sure that's not the one?
Well,
That looked like, I mean, it could have been the one. We'll do frame grabs. Kind of clean this up.
Look at the condition. I mean, this has got to be, you know, gold-plated brass.
Right.
Like.
Maybe, well, if he pulls up just a little bit. I know, we're so...
The ROV focus.
That is
so
a hand
close.
right there. Now that's going all the way to the periphery. That's got to be the minute hand. The hour hand wouldn't go that far out.
Well, maybe it was 2:04, 2:05 when it stopped.
Yep.
Because that's just where it would be.
Well, it looks like my estimate was off.
Yeah. Oh, look how close he's trying to see through that glass desperately. And we were wondering, why didn't he try to...
Quick, Jim, what time is it?
There's something under there. That's like the 4 position.
See, it almost looks like there's rust settled down inside
that's
there.
rust.
See, I have a feeling that the hands are such thin metal that they've gone.
Well, that one was so skinny and so distinct. It had to have been a clock hand.
We will find out. There'll be a lot more study of this footage, that's for sure.
I feel like I've been on a roller coaster ride.
I know, we almost saw hands on the face of a clock.
I think we saw a hand.
I know.
The chance survival of this small, delicate object is extraordinary. It certainly looks like the Strauss's clock stopped at 2:20. One more tiny new detail in the Titanic chronology.
Pièce de résistance was that the clock was still sitting on the mantle.
Yeah.
The gold and ceramic clock that we had in the movie, featured in like the very first shot in that area of that suite.
Were you able to be kind of clinical and scientific and detached about it?
Are you kidding?
Stuff going on.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's the detached part that's still flying the ROV and trying not to silt out and do the proper image. But there's the other little kid in the back of your brain that's jumping up and down saying, I can't. We're gonna go here. Cheers. All right, man. Good luck. And we dive tomorrow. We dive tomorrow.
After waiting days for my chance, this is it. No turning back. Tomorrow, I dive at dawn.
The president needs a break.
Well, we've got the French ambassador and then the Iranians, but maybe...
I mean, now.
I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't raise your voice at me in front of the staff.
I need to manage this crisis. I needed to be in those meetings.
Let her do her job so you can do yours.
The West Wing continues Friday at 9 on More 4.
Nominated for 7 Golden Globes, including Best Picture, critics are calling Brokeback Mountain an instant classic. Rapturous and revolutionary.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
A masterpiece. Heath Ledger's performance is the stuff of Hollywood history.
If you can't fix it, you got a standard.
In what is destined to become one of the most talked about films of the year, Ang Lee's Brokeback Mountain.
New Vectra, a new Signum. Take control.
Visit Play.com now for our biggest sale ever. Get this Toshiba 37-inch TV for £1,199. Was £1,499. Free delivery on everything.
There's a wrong way to find your next property, and there's the right way. If you're buying or renting in the UK or looking for property overseas, you'll find the widest choice of property all in one place at rightmove.co.uk.
Time is running out. Send in your self-assessment tax return by the 31st of January, or you'll get a £100 penalty and start getting charged interest on anything you owe. You need to do it now. Self-assessment. Tax doesn't have to be taxing.
Makeup meltdown? I don't think so.
New Infallible Makeup, L'Oreal's first foundation that lasts up to 16 hours. Fight the signs of makeup meltdown. Infallible hides blemishes, stops shine, combats signs of tiredness. Its co-resistant technology prevents rub-off and provides up to 16-hour hold. The result, a finish that looks freshly applied all day long.
Infallible. It's my makeup.
New Infallible Makeup, the first foundation from L'Oreal Paris that lasts up to 16 hours.
You're worth it.
I'm looking for an entertainment PC.
You won't go wrong with this one. Packard Bell iMedia 1538 for an incredible £599. That's a £200 saving. It's our lowest ever priced PC with Media Center software, an Intel Pentium 4 processor, built-in TV tuner so you can record and pause live TV, a DVD rewriter,
and a flat panel monitor
included in the price.
Sold.
Online or in store, you've got the best of both worlds.
Easy World.
Nothing gets you rewards faster than the new Nectar credit card from American Express. Experience the fastest way ever to enjoy Nectar rewards by earning double points. Apply today at americanexpress.co.uk.
Up until now, I've watched all this stuff rather dispassionately. Jim came out of the water about 7 hours ago, and the guys are doing the essential maintenance so that it can go back in again. It's a bit like a pit stop in a Formula One race. The only difference is that in 2 hours' time, it's me who's going down there. So get it right, lads. They've delayed the dive twice today already, so it's still 2 hours before I go down. This is all the stuff that I've sorted out to take with me. Lots of warm weather gear, and this hat I'm told I've got to take. Little blue notebook for the questions I want to ask Jim. Thermals, very attractive. Lots of pills there for seasickness. These are to seal me up to make sure that I don't go to the lab because there isn't a toilet on board. These are good. It says in the spec that they don't like it if you're flatulent. We've just done the dive brief. Boy oh boy. What can I tell you? Jim is very, very tired. He's been diving non-stop for about 4 days now, and so he said he didn't want cameras in on the dive brief, which is fair enough, and he doesn't want us to do any shooting when we're actually going down in the sub, just when we get to the bottom, because he's going to sleep, believe it or not, on the way down and plan the dive. We're hoping to penetrate deeper into the wreck than ever before, into the massive boiler rooms, in an attempt to solve one last outstanding Titanic mystery. Can we find evidence of a fire in one of the coal bunkers that might have contributed to the sinking of the ship? Given the amount of razor-sharp twisted metal that's sure to be down there, it's a high-risk strategy, for us and for the bots. He's taking 3 down there. If all 3 work, then we should be able to cover an awful lot. If 2 work less, if 1 works, then hardly any. But given that this is the last dive, those poor little bots are getting quite tired, and we just won't know how they're going to hold up until we get down there. After 2 postponements and an 8.5-hour wait, I finally get the call. I'm about to join Jim on his last ever dive to the Titanic. You ready for me, Jim?
Yeah, come on ahead.
This is it. No turning back. Well, if this goes wrong, you've got to air the show. I'm not drowning for nothing, all right, mate? Amazingly, I don't feel scared. I thought I would, but I don't.
This is the biggest sub of its depth class in the world.
If this is the biggest, I'd hate to be in the smallest. I'm going to have to spend at least 12 hours in here.
A lot of electric, and then you want to keep your
Our pilot Genya gets in, and the hatches are battened down. All the sound of the outside world suddenly disappears. It's like some sort of weird sensory deprivation. I'm getting really twitchy being surrounded by all these electronic buttons and switches. I really don't want to press anything important. We're so insulated from the real world, I hardly feel the splashdown. Descending at over 5,000 feet per hour, it gets completely dark outside in less than a minute. It's going to take over 2 hours to get to the bottom. There's not much to do except chat, despite Jim saying he didn't want the cameras running. Is this really your last dive?
For Titanic, yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Well, you know, we'll have explored a lot of it by the end of this dive, and it's been 10 years since my first expedition here, almost exactly. Our first dive in '95 was in September. So, well, 10 years is long enough.
You don't feel possessive about it?
I guess I don't feel possessive, but I feel that it would be inappropriate for people to take big pieces off the wreck or to try to, you know, salvage the stem of the bow or one of the anchors or something like that. Because to me, that's defiling a monument. I think that the enduring power of Titanic is that it represents so many things. It's ceased to become, in a way, a historic event, and it's become like a Shakespearean play. It has universal human emotional value, which is why people keep returning to it, even though there have been greater tragedies. I guess I'm fascinated by apocalyptic concepts, you know, and Titanic is a metaphor. One of its many metaphors, a metaphor for the state of the world.
When we finally approach the bottom, it feels just like those moonshots from the 1960s. But this isn't the moon, and I'm not Neil Armstrong.
There you are at the bottom of the ocean. 2.5 miles down. If we want to, we can take a picture of the sonar with this camera right here.
This one here?
Yeah, just gingerly reach. Just let me get a little bit of slack out here. There you go.
So where are we?
We are very near the bow right now.
So we're somewhere here?
Yes, we're right at the bow.